Have you ever wondered what the world looks like to a tiny housefly? It is a world quite unlike our own, seen through eyes that are truly remarkable feats of natural engineering. While we humans peer through two single lenses, a fly views its surroundings through a magnificent mosaic. A fly's eyes are known as compound eyes. They are made up of hundreds or even thousands of tiny individual lenses all packed together. Each of these small lenses is called an ommatidium, and each one points in a slightly different direction, gathering its own little picture of the world. It is like looking through a bundle of many tiny drinking straws all at once. This structure is fundamentally different from the single-lens camera-like eye that we possess. Imagine a fruit fly, a common visitor in our kitchens. Its domed eyes contain around 700 of these individual lenses. A larger blowfly might have as many as 5,000. Each ommatidium captures a single point of light and motion, and the fly's brain must then stitch all these separate inputs together to form a complete, albeit pixelated, image of its environment. This is not a high-definition picture. The world a fly sees is a patchwork quilt of light and shadow, a mosaic of dots that creates a broad, sweeping view rather than a single, focused image. This unique way of seeing is perfectly adapted for the fly's fast-paced life. The detail in a fly's vision is, by our standards, quite poor. If a housefly were to look at an eye chart from just a few centimeters away, it would only be able to make out the largest letter that a human with perfect vision could read from many meters away. For a fly to see the world with the same sharpness and clarity as we do, its compound eyes would need to be enormous, perhaps as wide as 1 meter in diameter. Such an eye would be impossibly large and heavy for a small insect. So nature did not equip the fly with eyes for reading fine print or admiring distant landscapes. Instead, the fly's visual system is a masterpiece of survival, prioritizing other crucial information over fine detail. It does not need to identify a predator from afar. It only needs to know that something is moving nearby. The compound eye gives the fly an incredibly wide field of vision, allowing it to see in nearly every direction at once without even turning its head. This panoramic view means it is very difficult to sneak up on a fly. It is constantly aware of its surroundings, a vital advantage when you're a small creature on the menu for so many others. What a fly lacks in clarity, it more than makes up for in speed. A fly's vision is extraordinarily fast, far faster than our own. This is the secret behind its uncanny ability to dodge our swats and escape our grasp in the blink of an eye. To us, a fly zipping away seems to vanish almost instantly, but from the fly's perspective, our approaching hand or swatter appears to be moving in slow motion. It has ample time to perceive the threat, calculate an escape route, and take to the air long before we can make contact. This is all thanks to its high flicker fusion rate. This rate refers to how many distinct flashes of light per second an eye can register before the flashes blur into a continuous steady light. For a human, this threshold is around 60 flashes per second. This is why a movie, which is just a series of still pictures shown quickly, looks like smooth motion to us. A fly, however, sees things much faster. A blowfly's photoreceptors can distinguish over 200 flashes of light every single second. This incredible temporal resolution means the world unfolds for a fly like a slow-motion film, giving it a supreme advantage in reacting to sudden movements. This remarkable speed explains why it is so challenging to catch a fly. The world we experience is processed at a much slower rate. When we swing a hand to catch one, the fly sees the large, dark shape looming towards it with plenty of time to react. Its brain processes the incoming visual information at lightning speed, allowing it to execute a complex takeoff maneuver in a fraction of a second. It is a brilliant evolutionary adaptation for a life of constant peril, one that has ensured the survival of flies for millions of years in a world full of larger, slower predators like us. Some flies even have specialized parts of their eyes for even faster vision. In many species, the male fly has an area on its eye known as a love spot. This section has larger lenses and even faster photoreceptors. This enhancement is not for spotting danger, but for tracking a potential mate. During high-speed courtship chases, the male must keep the fast-moving female perfectly in his sights. This specialized zone gives him the hyper-fast vision needed to follow her every twist and turn, ensuring he does not lose sight of his prize. The way a fly sees color is also profoundly different from our own experience. Human vision is built upon three types of color-sensitive cells in our eyes, which are tuned to red, green, and blue light. By mixing the signals from these three cell types, our brain creates the entire rainbow of colors we perceive. A housefly, however, has a different set of tools. It possesses 5 different types of photoreceptors, and some of these are sensitive to wavelengths of light that are completely invisible to us, such as ultraviolet or UV light. At the same time, they are not very sensitive to the color red. This means a fly experiences a world of colors that we can only imagine. A simple white flower to our eyes might appear to a fly as a complex pattern of UV signals, with some parts absorbing UV light and others reflecting it brightly. These patterns, invisible to us, can act like signposts, guiding the fly towards a source of nectar. The fly's brain interprets these signals to perceive perhaps 4 distinct color categories, some of which would have no direct equivalent in human experience. They see a different reality, one painted with a palette of light we cannot access. For a fly, seeing in ultraviolet is not a novelty, it is essential for survival. Many natural and artificial surfaces look completely different in the UV spectrum. This ability helps flies find food, identify suitable places to lay their eggs, and even recognize potential mates. The world is covered in secret messages that only beings with UV vision can read. For example, the sky itself has patterns of polarized light that are invisible to us, but which flies can use like a compass to navigate with extraordinary precision, even on cloudy days when the sun is not visible. This different perception of color also means that what is appealing to a fly might be unremarkable to us, and vice versa. A bright red object, so vibrant to our eyes, would likely appear dark and uninteresting to a housefly. Conversely, a surface that we might perceive as a dull white could be shining brilliantly in the UV spectrum, making it highly attractive to a fly. Understanding this key difference, this unique visual world, is not just a matter of scientific curiosity. It has become a powerful tool for humanity. Understanding the fly's unique visual world is more than a fascinating biological puzzle. It is a critical piece of knowledge that helps us protect human and animal health. Flies are not just a nuisance. Many species are vectors for dangerous diseases. Tsetse flies in Africa spread the parasites that cause sleeping sickness, while houseflies can transmit bacteria that lead to illnesses like cholera and typhoid. By learning how these insects see, scientists can devise cleverer and more effective ways to control them, often without relying on widespread use of harmful insecticides. A wonderful example of this comes from the fight against the tsetse fly. For many years, control efforts involved using targets made of blue cloth, a color known to attract the flies. But recently, by creating a detailed model of the tsetse fly's color perception, scientists were able to design a color that is even more attractive to them. To our eyes, this new material looks like a shade of violet or purple. To a tsetse fly, however, this specific color is the most stimulating and alluring shade it can see. Traps made with this new color are proving to be far more effective at luring and capturing the flies. The benefits of this research continue to expand. Scientists have discovered that the same special purple color developed for tsetse flies is also highly attractive to other problematic insects, including stable flies and houseflies, which also spread disease. This means a single, scientifically designed tool can be used to manage multiple types of pests. This is a much more targeted approach than simply spraying chemicals, as it uses the fly's own biology against it. By creating irresistible visual lures, we can draw flies into traps and away from people and livestock. So, the next time you see a fly, you might think of it differently. It is not just a pest, but a creature with a truly alien way of seeing. It experiences the world in a blur of slow motion and a spectrum of hidden colors. And by studying this strange and wonderful vision, we are learning to protect ourselves from the diseases these creatures can carry. The simple fly, with its thousand-lensed eye, offers us a profound lesson, that by understanding the perceptual worlds of other living things, we can find better ways to coexist and ensure a healthier future for all.